Well, today we're working with Hunkydory's new collection called Enchanted Glades, and as you can see, the artwork is just beautiful. In fact, we have some wonderful projects for you, and let me just show you one. Look at that, so all the beautiful colors, and there's the back of this stand-up card. Won't you please come play with us? Before I get into Heidi's projects, let me just show you what's in this collection. So we have the Enchanted Glades. This is the Luxury Topper collection, and this is going to make at least 16 cards. And let me just show you. So each of the sets has, just like the one on the front shows you, these are the foil die-cut pieces. They're just going to pop right out. And then to coordinate with that, you have a sheet of adorable scoreable cardstock. You can see how it's foiled there in the corner. And then you have another one that is simply printed. So you can see that they're going to match the artwork on the die cut. So that's one set. You're going to get two of everything. Okay. Then we're going to have this set, and this is called the Little Things. And again, you're going to get one that is foiled. Hopefully you can see that foiling. And then you're going to get one that is printed. These are all A4 size. And again, two of everything. Then this is Magical Moments, and you can see, but we're keeping with that pastel color palette. And this one is foiled, and this one is printed. Okay, again, two each. Then this is, I guess you just saw that bird, didn't you, in another collection. And you can see the lady. And this is the printed one, and this is the foiled sheet. So all of those. And then we have the Enchanted Glades Square Little Book. Now this is 4 3/4 inches square. There are 120 sheets. There you go. They are single-sided, and I'll show you all of them when I get started on the first project. Then we also have the Enchanted Glades Miri. Now there are 16 sheets of here. There are 2 sheets in 8 different colors, and let me show you what those colors are. So we have this array. So we've got the copper, the green, blue, got several shades of purple and lavender, and also blue, and there's the other purple, and then a copper color. So all pure, it should be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to get 2 of each of those. So that's going to do you quite nicely, I think. And I'm going to set those away. And then we also, I guess that's it. That's all. That's everything, all 3 of them. So as I said, we'll get started and going into the projects. And the first project is this one. And it is using that little square book. We'll get in closer so you can see. And this has an extra little trick to it. It is a twisted easel card. So you can see that that is going to stay open like this. So we have that sweet deer, and then we have a close-up of the deer on the inside. Now, I did promise to show you the other pieces that are in the square little book, and let me just walk you through those. So we have some of them, just like the card, there's a pair of them. So like this little bunny is with those 2 bunnies, so that could pair together nicely. And as I said, they are single-sided. There is a fox, and butterfly would go nicely with the dragonfly. Here we have an owl, sweet little owl, and a different kind of, this is a white owl, and porcupine. I think you saw that on the die cuts. We have the mushrooms with the dragonfly, and our little squirrel, stack of books, and that light, as you saw before. There is a house, and some hot chocolate, looks like, and we have a fairy and another one. So all of those, and like I said, you will be getting 6 each. There are 20 different designs, and you get 6 of each one. That makes the 120. So we'll tuck that aside and bring our card back. Now, this card is made out of cardstock. And what Heidi used is this set. Now we call it pearl cardstock, we call it pastel cardstock. It is not pearlescent. That's not true. That's why it's such a good price. But it has 20 sheets, they're 12 by 12, in all sorts of pastel colors. And it is just great to have. And so she started making her card out of this, and it is, so this is a square card, and you can see it's going to start with the piece of cardstock. The measurements are in the direction. I believe it is, let's see, this is probably 5 inches, so it's 10 inches by 5 inches. Then just score it in the middle and fold it like that. Now you're also going to do another score line, and I'm going to open this up so you can see. Okay, now the only thing is that this is upside down, so you want to be scoring it from the bottom left to the upper right. So in that diagonal, that way when you open it, it will work nicely. So then she also went into the cardstock to get a pink color, and she cut a piece that was square, 4.5 inches. So this is 5 inches square, so this pink is 4.5 inches. She cut it in the same diagonal and then glued one of the triangles to each piece. I know you can really see it there. It's hidden under this one. Then she has this piece. Now she did trim it down and to 4 1/4, and then she matted it onto the first of the Mary that we're using, which is this pink. And there you go. And so that is matted on there, and it is foam taped in place. Now when you get this piece, you're going to attach it to the card, but you're going to attach the right-hand side to the right-hand side of your card, okay? Because this has to stay open. Got that? Okay, and that just works very, very nicely. Now we'll hold on to this. I'm just going to set it over there to decorate the front of her card. And as I said, we'll get in even closer. She has used some of the pink jewel dazzles, and I'm sure that's just really wild on your screen. And she's put them in the center of the flowers and right into that little dragonfly. Then her message, thinking of you, that comes from our tiny words and phrases in black. And this sheet is available separately also. So that works quite nicely. Now, as you saw, that takes care of our card front. Now we're going to go to the inside. Now the inside is using a blue. So pink and blue in the cardstocks and pink and blue in the Mary. And she has taken that second piece, that second little book of, and you can see that that is going to go onto the Mary. It's going to get matted onto that blue Mary and go onto the inside. Now she also did some layering, because in order to have this twisted easel stand up, you have to have something foam taped in place. So what she did, because she had 6 sheets of this design, she took one and glued it and matted it on the blue. Then she took another one and just went around the deer, and just eliminated that background, okay? And foam taped that in place. That is her first layer. And you can probably see a little bit of a shadow there. Then her second layer was the head of the deer. So this piece, foam tape that in place. You could do a third one and just not have the ears, but just that face, and foam tape that in place. So as many layers as you like, and that just gives some dimension to it. But again, it is also foam taped in place so that it will hold the front of the card. And when the card is sitting, you can see that, thinking of you, and a hello. Now that hello comes from the exact same sheet that we did on the front, the tiny words and phrases. And there are more of the pink jewel dazzles. They are also in the centers of the flowers, that dragonfly, and then a few around the hello, just to kind of have that magic spreading. So that is our very first card. And it's using just one of this, and maybe 3, maybe 4 if you like, of this one, but you'll still have some left. So that works nicely, don't you think? Okay, we're going to get started on our second card. And this one is using a cutting die, and just looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Okay, the cutting die is this. It's our circle stand-up card. It's part of the Fabulous Folded series that we come out with brand new die every single month, and it is so easy to put together. Let me just show you. I have some pieces inside, and of course the dies are inside too, but let me just show you these pieces. Excuse me. Now we won't be using, there is a happy birthday, a friend, and some balloons. We're not using that this time, so we'll kind of ignore those, but we're going to be using the card base. And we're also going to be using the circle and the donut. Okay, now I know that sounds odd, doesn't it? But when you get into this, you will see the difference. And here we go. Okay, and there's also a piece to make sure that this isn't going to open, you know, and go flat. So that will be really nice. In all of the Fabulous Folded, they come in a wallet size package, and all of the directions are just right on the back. It just works really, really nicely. It's useful to have extra sticky tape, you know, the kind that has the red liner, because that's going to just make some things easier. Now for this particular card, the base is set and is done when paper is folded, when the cardstock is folded. So what Heidi used, isn't that beautiful with those flowers down there? Well, that came from the Mystical Florals collection, and it is just beautiful. It's very rich and colorful. So you can see how nicely that's going to work. So you just take that 12 by 12 piece, fold it in half, place the die on top, and run it through your machine, and you will get a piece that's going to look like this. It will be scooped out of the center, okay? Then you're going to cut, and this time she used this light purple Mary cardstock. You're going to cut 2 of these. They have cutting dies on the outside and the inside, so they're going to make 2 what we call donuts. You can see that's going to go there, and it's also going to go on the back of it also. And there is a circle. It's this piece. It's a little bit larger so that it will fit nicely in that donut, and that is being used to cut some of the pieces. So in this particular one, Heidi also used that little book, and she used this piece and this piece. So we've got 2 birds, one on each side of our card. And so she cut those circles and attached the donuts on top. And then you can see there's one and there's the other one. And then she attached that to the front of her card. Now this little piece looks like this. This is going to get die cut. She used the Mary for that. And then you're going to score it, attach the tape, and then position it on the back, on the inside of your card, so that it won't spread open, okay? Then she did something else, is that she took a couple of layers. Let me just show you. So you're going to get the piece that's going to be inside the donut, but then that's going to cut off some of the tail feathers. Well, we just can't have that. So what she did is she went into another sheet and trimmed out around the flowers and the bird and that little butterfly. And you can see how the butterfly goes out of the donut. And then she foam taped that in place. And then she did another one of just the wing on the bird and foam taped that. Doesn't that look nice? On the back side, she did the exact same thing, where she cut around the bird. This time she added a couple of flowers, kind of nesting up there, and then cut the wing out as a separate piece and foam taped that. Now, the other thing that she did is that she put purple jewel dazzles and just set them around the top part of that donut, just to add a little bit more bling. Her bow is made using out of the purple ribbon set, and what's nice about these ribbon sets is you get so many pieces all in the same colorway. So we've got sheer dot, which is what she used for her bow. We've got grosgrain, we've got baker's twine, we've got glitter ribbon, and lots of shades too. Then she does love to use the bow maker to make her bows quite perfectly every single time, and then she dotted them in place, one on the front of the card and one on the back of the card. Now her greeting comes from the purple script dazzles, but they are only part of a purple collection. This is the only collection we have like this, where it has all kinds of dazzles. Here's thin line, it's got thank you, it's got the script. In fact, this is the whole list. We're together, borders, fancy borders, thank you sheet, inside, outside, happy birthday, all of those 12 sheets are in this piece, and she did use the best wishes on the front and a hello on the back. Now, where might you write your message? Well, if you have a short one, you can go right here, or you can tuck something in with your card. And you will want to get the 10 envelopes collection, because that way this will fit perfectly in that collection. Okay, so that's our second card. Now, both of those were using the Miri and the square little book of Enchanted Glades. Now we're going to go on to the topper collection. And the first one that we're going to use is this card, and this is quite a different card. It's got a lot of things going on. Now it's going to open up like this, so I guess you really could have it like that or like that, but the surprise is what's inside. So let me show you how to do that, because I have some directions to give you. By the way, all of the directions, all the measurements are down below. Just click on the card that you're interested in. You'll see the directions. You can print them out if you like, okay? So we're going to start this time with a piece of the blue Miri, and we're going to cut a piece that is, whoops, 10 inches by 6.5. Then we're going to put it on something to score it. Heidi loves the scoreboard by Hunkydory, and I'll show you that in a moment. And so measuring from the left, we're going to go 2.5 inches, 5 inches, and 7.5 inches. So it's 2.5 inches there, 2.5 inches there, 2.5 inches there. And then we're going to accordion fold it. We're going to start with a mountain, and then we'll have a valley fold, and then we'll have another mountain. So that's going to make that card base. But it has more going on to it, because it has another piece, and that is this piece that is 10 inches, the same length, by 2.5. And after we decorate this part, this is going to get attached in the middle, and that's going to make that really different look to this card. So just two pieces. So pretty neat, I think. Okay, so let me go back. So we have our purple all fixed in our mountain, valley, mountain piece. And so kind of ignore that if you can. Then she took, so she used the blue, and then she took this purple and cut some pieces. So she's got pieces going here. Can you see that along the strip? So this is 2.5 inches by 6.5, and this is, I think, 1.25 inches, or excuse me, 1 3/4 inches by about 5 inches. So again, the directions are in the down below. So she's got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, one for each of the sections. Okay, and then she did some different things, which I always appreciate. And let me show you. So she is using, out of this, she is using the house. She used this little piece right here. She did not use the outside frames, so she popped those out. Now both of those frames are a set of 3. So there's this printed frame. This one's kind of lavender, but shall we agree? And this one is kind of a darker color. There is a gold one. She did not use those. So she took those two, cut them in half vertically. Look what she did. She glued, or foam taped, I might say, the darker one to the middle of the card. You see how that makes kind of a frame to this piece? So these are just foam taped on those purple pieces. And then she took the lavender one, so it's that one, and foam taped it going facing out. Okay, these two are facing in. These two are facing out. I can't turn my hands like that. Okay, like that. Then that's the time that you can go ahead and attach this piece. And you're just attaching it to the outside pieces. Obviously, you want that center area. Well, you almost can't attach it to anything, can you? Then I'm going to start from the middle here. So she took this border piece and just attached it. I would use the extra sticky tape, about a 1/2 inch from the center fold on this side and on this side, okay? And then she's placing, and she's doing these with foam tape. So the little house is going there, that vase or that light is going there. And then you see you've got all of these other pieces. So she has put this one off the edge of that center piece. Again, it's foam taped. And the little circle that says happy birthday, this little dragonfly, and that, all of those are foam taped. So all of that worked just really nicely. It's a very interesting card. And the final piece, you know, kind of the super finish, these are our oval border dazzles. I don't know if you've seen these, but they are just gorgeous. And you can see what they do. There are 3 sizes on each sheet. I think you can kind of see it on the green one. See how that looks smaller? Medium size and large. Well, she used this, the medium size, I think, and has placed them quite a few areas. So they are on the top and bottom of the outside pieces. They are on the top of the outside pieces of this middle section. And then you can see, remember the borders? Well, they're on each side of the borders. And they just add, well, I guess they're also down here. I'm not sure if I said that. They just add another finish to it. So that's just really, really nice. And you're going to get lots of pretty colors too. And I have to say, I was surprised when I saw that she used gingham ribbon. And this is the gingham set, and she's got the purple or the lavender gingham, made 2 bows with the bow maker and knotted them in place. So you really have this rather marvelous card that will also fit in those 10 envelopes. So that's nice. I thought it was really clever what she did with those frames by cutting those vertically and attaching them. So this is a new style of card for us, so you might want to make a special note of that. Now, in this collection, she used many pieces, but not all of this. She didn't use either one of these, so you've got those to play with a little bit later, okay? Now, I have one more card for you, and this card, let me get it out here, has got some other special things going on with it, and here it is. Okay, now Hunkydory released this acetate this last fall, and it's called Starfall, S-T-A-R-F-A-L-L, and hopefully you can see the stars on there. We might need to get in closer, Jeanette. There you go. Now, on one side they're silver, and on the other side they're gold, and Heidi has used them in this particular card. So let me show you about it. Now, she did start with a regular card, 5 by 6.5, but she cut it in half and just set that other piece aside. So it's just one piece here. And then to make this gatefold, she took, so I've done this out of just white cardstock for you. So she cut a piece of that star acetate 6 inches by 6.5. And then she used the scoreboard, and I know that I promised I would show that to you. Well, it looks like this. You've probably seen this if you've been watching these. And went out a 1/2 inch on each side and just scored it. And then I'm going to just fold that back because I want to demonstrate that for you. Okay. And then she put the extra sticky tape on the back side of these flaps. Then those flaps are going to go on the back of the card, but before you do that, we need to cut this in half. So we're just going to trim that and then attach these, each piece, to the back of this card. And when you do that, you will have the center area to open. You'll have your star gatefold card, okay? Now, as I said, she's used this sheet. It's called Spread Your Wings, and she's using the woman right there. So what she has done, this also has 3 layers, just like in the last card. So we've got a pattern frame, we have a solid gold frame, and then we have the fairy. She has used those as though they were one piece, okay? So she attached the left side to the left gate. And you can do that with extra sticky tape, and that will just hold it right together. And you can see all of these little embellishments. Well, she took that butterfly and foam taped it, and she took the one that says "Born to Stand Out." Isn't that a great word? And that's been foam taped right there. And then to coordinate with this, she is using our acetate butterflies. Now this is the jewel set, and these are just going to pop right out. And there are 32 acetate butterflies. We also have a pastel set, but this is the jewel one that she's using. And what she did is, again, using the extra sticky tape, just take about a piece that's not quite an inch long and put it right behind the body. And then when you attach it, you can do this. You can let these wings flutter up, and they're going to stay attached under the body. So she's got 1, 2, and then she's got a side butterfly right here. So 3 of them. Maybe that's a, well, I guess you really need to see it in a white background. Let me see. How's that? There you go. Now you can really see them. And so they are just nicely perched right around her. So that takes care of our card front, but how about our card inside? Well, with this, she has used another pink out of the Mary cardstock, so set that aside. And she has used, what's going on the inside there is this piece of pattern cardstock, not the one that had the foiling, but this one. So she has cut this so that it would be on the inside, and again, the measurements are down below, and then matted it on the Mary, and then glued it to the inside or taped it to the inside of her card. Same thing, she's got 2 of the toppers foam taped and more of those butterflies attached exact same way with the extra sticky tape. And I think the stars are really a nice thing to have with that fairy. Very, very nice. Now, again, just like before, you have many of the pieces left, and you have the one the one cardstock that is foiled. So that's nice to have, and that's how you can make so many cards out of this set. So those are the 4 cards. Now, just to recap, we have the Enchanted Glades toppers. We have the Enchanted Glades, let's see, Mary cardstock. And we also have the Enchanted Glades, the little book of Enchanted Glades. So all 3 of those. Now they are in a money saver. As usual, it's on the right-hand side of your screen, and we do that in case you want to buy the whole collection. We think you just need an extra little bonus, so we give that to you in the money saver. However, these are available separately, and I will tell you that those Mary cardstocks, they go with this collection, but you can use them many different places. Okay. As I said before, the directions are down below, so that will take care of you if you'd like to take a look at those. And I think there are some directions there that might be helpful for some other cards later on. Now, if you happen to be watching us on YouTube, we'd love it if you would head on over to Paper Wishes, where you can see this, you can get the directions, and take advantage of that money saver if that's what you would like. I want to thank Heidi for just doing a great job and giving us some new ideas. Always love that. I want to thank you especially for being part of our Paper Wishes family. And you know what? I'm going to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.